Hello everyone, welcome to Golden Heart Tarot. My name is Renn. I hope you all are safe and happy. Today we're asking, what do people say behind your back? Or we're going to try to keep things light, okay? So as usual, we have 3 groups. Group 1 is Bless. Group 2 is Sanctuary. And group 3 is Death Ward. We'll have one big shuffle at the beginning, but if you want to jump to general messages or your chosen group, those timestamps will be in the description box. I'll see you there. All right, everyone, this will be our energy cleanse and shuffle. I hope you all are doing okay, working hard, getting things done. I'm enjoying the cooler weather. I definitely like it to be colder rather than hot. But it seems like with the shift in temperature, it shakes up a whole bunch of stuff. It might also be that I took 2 weeks of call, so my schedule might be messed up because of that. Like, I feel like I have to change my schedule up, so I'm changing my routines and everything. I'm kind of in a transition phase at the moment. So like, I'm used to getting up at 3 a.m. and going and working out, and like this past week I was like not having it. So I worked out in the afternoon instead. So now I'm kind of doing that, and it's also like now I'm changing up what I'm eating, because normally I would prep all of my food on Sunday, but you know, now I just don't want to eat that anymore. So now I got to find something else to eat. Things are just kind of up in the air at the moment. Yeah, it's throwing me off. I don't know if you all do that or not, because normally I'd be like the same thing all the time, and then I just occasionally throw in something random. But then I'll go through a transition phase where I'll change a whole bunch of stuff, and I'll just be out of whack for a little bit, and then until I get on my new schedule, basically. So I don't know, maybe I'm just weird, probably. Anyway, all right, let's get this started here. Holy Spirit, angels, and my ancestral army, thank you for your protection and guidance. Please give us a clear and accurate reading. Allow the divine to shine through in positivity and clear the space of all negative energy. Do not allow my current life experiences to cloud this reading in any way. Send protective and healing energy to those watching this reading. In genuine service to the collective, amen. Hello everyone, this will be our general message. We have Secret Chest. We have the World card. We have the Nine of Wands twice. It's crazy. And we have Truth, Oracle card number 15, Message in a Bottle, Energy. We have March and Trick. So I'm getting a few different stories here, but the main theme is that y'all have been on the struggle bus for quite a long time. Too long of a time. There's something that you've put a lot of energy into, and you are nearing completion. This is kind of the last stand. This is the last standoff. Okay? Before this cycle is closing out. It's the final chapter. And things are getting good. Now, for some of you, this is a relationship. For some of you, this is unrequited love. For some of you, this is a job. Just take it how it resonates. I'm also getting messages from both sides of it as far as a relationship goes. So for one side of the relationship, I am getting a desire for a return of affection. And struggling to get a return of affection from someone. It's something that you've put a lot of mental and emotional energy into, and you've really been through it. I would say this situation was probably one of the hardest times in your life. You've had to be creative about problem solving. You've been kind of just learning as you go, learning from your mistakes. But overall, I'm seeing success after taking a risk. For some of you that have been awaiting communication, you will receive it. You will receive some kind of truth about the struggle that you've been through. Now, it doesn't say exactly what it is or how you will receive it, but there will be communication coming in for you. It doesn't say whether it's good or bad. It's just going to be truthful. And that will end up closing out a cycle for you. For some of you, this is your sign that you need to step back from a situation and take your energy back in order to close out this cycle. It's at a point now where you've done everything that you can do for the moment, and you really can't go any further. It's time for you to take a break and heal from the situation that you've been through. You need to take a break for your own sake. For your own health and sanity. You need to trust that it'll be there when you get back and just let it go for now. Easier said than done. I completely, absolutely 100% understand that. But sometimes you just have to trust that it'll be there when you get back because you are more important. Because without you, there's nothing. And you need to be in a good space because you're at a point where you can't go any further without really starting to sacrifice things that you may not be able to come back from. And I know it's very, very scary to do something like that because you're afraid it's not going to be there when you get back. So for some of you, you need to take a step back and rest and trust that the universe has the situation in hand. And the opportunities that are for you will not pass you by. But in doing so, you'll end a cycle. And then there'll be something new, a new beginning coming around the corner. So, now for others of you, you're the ones that have not communicated to another person. Secret chest. I read that as there's a secret inside of you. It's something that is so deep within you that you can't even access it directly. Like you have to use a miniature version of it, and that's the part that you show everyone. That's the part you access. It's like you dance around it without really saying it. the secret that you have inside. It's the light version. It's the miniature replica of what you're really feeling. The real secret inside of you. And this is a secret that you want to communicate. This is a truth that you have inside of you that you need to tell someone. For a lot of you, this is about how you feel about someone. And the thing is that the longer that you wait in order to tell the truth about it, the more chance there is that your opportunity will be irretrievably lost. And that's not a threat, but it's not a joke either. You know, I watched a tarot reading today, and she said, how could you turn away from your divine counterpart? Like, how could you be okay with just deciding to be with someone else after meeting them? To be okay with a surface level connection when you know you have someone that you feel deeply about. When you know you have a twin flame. You know, it's not an opportunity that you will ever again. This is like once in a lifetime lottery level gift from the universe. This is something that will most likely never happen to you again. You may never again feel about a person the same way you feel about this person. How could you possibly be okay with walking away from it? It doesn't make any sense. No matter what the challenges are. And if it's a twin flame, then it's going to be a challenge. Because that's the point. The point is how you overcome those challenges. Yes, for some of you, there's a secret that you need to share. Although it's going to be difficult for you to do so. This card that's right underneath it talks about success after taking a risk. And in doing so, you will close out a cycle. So for those that are resonating with this, it's the end of a struggle, the closing of cycles, communication and truth coming through. It's your final test before the end. So hopefully we have learned our lessons. All right, that's all I have for you in this. I'll see you at your groups. Hello, group 1. If you chose the Bless card, this will be a reading. In the description box, I've listed a Bible verse, angel number, and a song for you if you want to check it out. We're asking what people say about you behind your back. Well, I can tell you right now, right off the bat, people think the world of you. You are a very special person. For your cards, we have Bless, we have Power, Patience, Soulmates, which is Oracle card number 41. We have Pass Without a Trace. Inspire, Freedom, Snuggle, Scorpio, Divine, and then we have Deer. So I'm going to take a look at your Bless card and also Pass Without a Trace and see what I get. People say you're a very good leader. And you draw people to you. People want to follow you. People want to join you in whatever you're doing. You're divinely guided. People feel really good when they're around you. Your energy is just amazing. You take care of people around you too. People like how you make them feel part of the group, part of the team. People talk about how they would follow you. People talk about how you make a great leader, how there is something very special about you. People talk about how good they feel to be around you. Like your energy is very bright. It reminds me of the sun. People also talk about how private you are. Like you'll disappear for long periods of time and people don't know exactly what you've been doing or where you've been. People are really interested in knowing where you go. You're very good at hiding it though. Yeah, people talk about like if you don't want to be seen, you won't be. Yeah, this talks about companions too. So you could be good at keeping yourself and others masked, stealthed. Yeah, you could be very good at stealth. hiding your movements for you and whoever you're with. Yeah, it talks about how you can't be tracked except by magical means. You leave no trace. Interesting. You're a little sneaky, huh? All right, group one. Interesting. That's very interesting with the rest of your cards. People talk about how you use your power. You could be in a powerful position at work or in some other facet of your life. This card talks about how you can be independent and individual and yet totally connected. So people talk about how you handle being a leader and still part of a group. For some of you, you may be in the midst of a power struggle and people are talking about that. Or you're trying to reclaim control from a person or a situation. I see that people think you are very authentic. People also talk about how patient you are. It seems like there's a group of people that say that you are very patient and another group of people that say that you are not. I guess maybe it depends on the situation or who you're dealing with. Because with the patience card, there's also this underlying feeling of time running out or things not working towards your expectation and being frustrated by that. I don't know. People could talk a lot about how you're their soulmate. You must have a lot of followers. It says soulmates here, so you might have a lot of people that tell you that you're their soulmate. I think it's your energy, honestly. I think it's how good you make people feel when they're around you. I think you really stir up some feelings in people. Now the Inspire and Freedom cards both talk about communication. But the Inspire card talks about communication without words. So if you're a musician or have musical talent or play music, people could be talking about that. People like listening to you and or your music. And I think people talk about how you inspire them. Now with the narwhal, the theory is that they use their tusk for communication. But once again, that's communication without talking. So there's something in there about that. Maybe you don't talk a lot and you choose to communicate in other ways. And people talk about that. You make other people talk about it. Yeah, maybe you don't say a lot, but you have other people talking a lot about you. People talk about how independent you are. You're also very elusive. Just like the Pass Without a Trace card. You're stealthy. People talk about how deep you are as well. Magical. People may also talk about your adventures or your travel. And there's also something here about freeing yourself from a period of restraint or inhibition. So maybe you had a very acrimonious breakup or something like that and people are talking about it. You could be a Scorpio. People could also talk about how passionate you are, how stubborn, how resourceful, and how brave you are. You also might wear a lot of black or have black hair or something like that. For some reason, people really like to talk about your snuggles. You could be a very good snuggler. Yeah. You could just really like to snuggle. I don't know. And yeah, there's divine coming up again, so you just feel angelic. Your energy feels so good and so safe. People talk about how gentle you are. You're very graceful. You also could be very childlike. And people talk about that. People talk about how sensitive and intuitive you are. And you're very persistent. You don't really let things deter you. And you kind of roll with the punches, you know? And if something gets you down, it doesn't do that for very long. Like you can heal pretty quickly through whatever you need to. And people talk about that. Some other side cards here. We have humor. You must be very funny. People talk about your humor. Your piercings. I don't know. Maybe you have some very nice piercings. Maybe you have a lot of piercings. Maybe you maybe you like showing off your Prince Albert or something. Yeah, there's something about your piercings people talk about, so. Okay. Oh god, we have soulmate again. Yeah. So yeah, people really talk about you as a soulmate. You must hear that a lot. Like a lot. Like this is behind your back, but honestly, like if people are saying it so much, you must hear it quite often. And then we have height coming out again. This was in the last video. Actually, I think both of these were in the last video. And piercings keeps coming up in my readings. It's really weird. So yeah, there's something about your height that people talk about. Maybe you're really tall or really short. One or the other. Maybe you're just perfect the way you are. How about that? All right, I'm gonna get your tarot set up and we will see what else they're talking about. So far, so good though. All right, we have the 8 of Swords, 8 of Cups, Page of Swords, Queen of Cups, Page of Pentacles, Magician, the Moon, Ace of Cups, 7 of Cups, and the 10 of Cups. Okay, so this is pretty interesting, actually. So what are people saying about you behind your back here? Well, these are people that actually care about you. These are people that love you, that are talking about you, because they seem very concerned about your emotional state and your relationships. It doesn't seem like they're talking about your finances or any actions that you're taking really in your life, but they are talking a lot about your decisions regarding relationships and moving forward in those, and also changes in your emotional state. So they are talking about there's been a change with you in regards to opening up emotionally. It seems like you have been closed off, and then all of a sudden something happened, something shifted with you that really activated your heart chakra, because you really opened up after that. So on the left side over here, it seems you are stuck in your head or confused about walking away from a situation, from a relationship. It's either that or you are very closed off with your emotions. Like you would not show them at all. Like you wouldn't touch them with a 10-foot pole. It's like you were really stuck. Like you were really stuck in your head. I don't know whether something really bad happened to you in the past as far as a relationship went that caused you to close off emotionally, but people were definitely talking about how you would not open up to them emotionally. And almost like you could if you wanted to, like you could solve this issue, but you were really stuck in your head about it and really confused about it. And I think you really confused them. And there may have been a breakup because there was no communication. They're talking about how you were really stuck in a situation you felt like you couldn't walk away from. And you were really resisting change in this, like you couldn't see it clearly. It's like, although you had the resources that you needed to walk away from the situation, you felt like you couldn't. Whether out of fear or anxiety. It's almost like the fear of missing out, like the grass is always greener, right? And you may have approached a lot of things that way. It's almost like acting in a way that wasn't you. It's like you wouldn't invest emotionally in any relationship because you wanted to be able to walk away at any point without feeling bad about it. But the thing is that when you did things like that, it really put you in your head because that's not who you are. because you're actually a very emotional person. It's like you weren't using your abilities correctly. And then you wondered why you felt so bad. And it's almost like you would get stuck in situations because you couldn't help but have some kind of emotion, and it kept you from walking away from things. Like you held on to things way too long. You held on to relationships way too long because you didn't want to feel bad. Because you're actually a very kind-hearted, you're a very kind-hearted soul. And you didn't want to upset anybody. So there's a lot of people-pleasing in this as well. But that kept you trapped in things that you shouldn't have been in the first place. And people are talking about that. It's like you were trying to be a player, but you're not really a player. You're too sweet to be a player. You know, that's just not who you are. It's like you're trying to hide your emotions and just damp them down and like not look at them, but you weren't being true to yourself. You would have surface level relationships with people going in saying, I don't care about this person. I'm not going to get emotionally attached. But the thing is that you're a very emotional person and you can't help but feel bad. Like you can't shut that part off. It's like you can't compartmentalize that part in you. And people are talking about that. Because you always beat yourself up about it. Like you don't use and abuse people. It's just not who you are. And as much as you tried to not be emotional or feel anything for anyone, like you just can't help it. Although you might not show it outwardly or even on the surface, people might not even have seen you react that way, but people that are close to you know that it was hurting you. So there's a shift that's happened with you and people are talking about that. You see he has this eagle pendant on. Now the eagle is seeing things from a broader perspective. It's like something happened that really changed your point of view on some things. It broadened your perspective. It's almost like you came to a truth and clarity about who you are and really owning the fact that you do have these emotions. Like you're this very emotional, caring person and that you don't have to hide it and that it's okay not to hide it. And the fact that just because other people can have surface level relationships with people and be okay with that, that's not who you are. You're a person that wants a deep relationship, a very emotional relationship. You are like a long-term relationship type person. You aren't one night stand type of person. Does that make sense? Like one night stands only take things from you. Like surface level relationships don't do it for you. And I think you came to the realization somehow that that's not who you are and that it was making you very unhappy. Now, it's either that or you were in a long-term relationship that was making you very unhappy, that you felt you were stuck in, that you felt you couldn't get out of. But you had clarity about that and are trying to move forward into something more fulfilling for you. So take it either way. So people are talking about this new clarity or this newfound freedom that you have, especially emotionally. And they're actually kind of worried about you. They're kind of wondering what you're going to choose. Because they know that once you choose something, you're going to be in it for the long haul. Like you're going to be committed to work on it. So they're talking about where you're going to invest your emotions. They talk about how you're making plans, like you're game planning how you're going to go about this emotional investment. It's like making practical plans on how you're going to invest in a relationship with someone, like how it would work. And they're wondering what you're going to choose. Are you going to choose, let's see, are you going to choose a butterfly? Are you going to choose a rainbow? Are you going to choose the kitten? Are you going to choose to shave your beard? You may have a beard. Take that whichever way you want. It seems like there's a Queen of Cups that you've decided on. And when I say Queen of Cups, I mean it could be any gender. I mean, if you're going to choose who you're going to invest your emotions into, the Queen of Cups would be the perfect person to do that with. And she's all about unconditional love. So some people may be talking about that you've kind of made your choice. And they could be talking about how this is going to look for you. Like, things are going to change for you here. And they could be talking about that. Like, how you're going to make it work. So yeah, there's a lot of talk about your relationships and your emotions for some reason. And I think it's people that really care about you and want to make sure that you're making the right decision for you and aren't going to get hurt. Because it seems like you had a pretty rough time of it. So from your cards, you're a beautiful person inside and out. Like, just a very lovely human being. And I wish you the very best of luck in your new endeavors and your new relationship. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Group 1. If you enjoyed this reading, please hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Hello, Group 2. If you chose Sanctuary, this will be your reading. In the description box, I have listed a Bible verse, angel number, and a song for you if you want to check it out. So let's see what people are saying about you behind your back. I'm going to take a look at this card and this one. People talk about your otherworldly ability to not be bothered by anything. Yeah, you're untouchable, unmovable. You're like, whatever, can't touch this. Your kung fu is strong. People could talk about your eyes and your hair and your hands. Yeah, it's like you're impervious to attack. People try to bring you down or get to you, and you don't care. And like, some of it backfires. Like, it backfires on whoever shot it. Yeah, it backfires on the person that tried to get to you. Your nickname could be Karma. You know, also, people that try to shoot their shot with you, you don't notice that either. That could be a problem. You don't do anything to anyone else, so they can't do anything to you. Like, you never step out of bounds, out of character. Never betray yourself, even when people try to get you to do so. I mean, people talk about the other people that are trying to hurt you. There could really be some people trying to hurt you. This could be a group. You are super protected and mentally strong. Like, you're a powerhouse. Like, no joke. You could be surrounded by fake friends. I think you inspire strong emotions in people. And this could be either love or hate. A lot of jealousy too, because I'm getting a lot about your looks, so you just may be very attractive, and just how you carry yourself could really intimidate people. And people try to throw shade, but the more you don't react, the angrier they get. And then when you turn to them, you know, they're on their best behavior. Like, they won't actually say anything to you. It's all behind your back. You know, you're probably a light worker, and you're reflecting people's shadows back at them. You could also work with animals, or animals could just love you. I think you can actually calm a situation down pretty well too. You could be a good mediator. Yeah, people talk a lot about your looks and your voice and what you say. You may be very blunt at times. You may be able to cut through to the truth of a situation, and people may not like that, but then realize that you're not saying that to hurt them. They just are like, oh yeah, you're right, it's true. You know? I think you just say things in a way that at first people are offended, and then they think about it, and then they're like, oh yeah, they may have a point. People talk a lot about how they are in love with you. And these people might have said some very hateful things about you and really threw a lot of shade your way. But as they've gotten to know you, I think they have become charmed by you. I think you may give off the impression that, I think it's a lot of people's insecurities that you bring out. And like the natural instinct is to blame you for it, right? You may prompt people, without doing really anything except being yourself, you may prompt people to start doing shadow work. You might set off spiritual awakenings in people. That might be part of your divine path. People talk a lot about your strength of character, and also your mental strength. They may also talk a lot about your body, about your figure, with these two like half-naked women here. And we have release, regeneration, and rebirth. So all kind of the same thing here. I think you could have gone through a transformation, and people are talking about that. And also maybe how often. It's like you're always releasing and regenerating things in your life. There's a lot of fire in your belly. You keep moving, like you cannot be stopped. You're always growing something. Some of you may be an Aquarius. The color blue may be important. You could have blue eyes. I also think you regenerate opportunities for yourself, like in a new way, a new and better way. It's like you're always digging down to more and more authenticity, seeking more and more truth. I think people talk about how your mind works. I think you're a pretty original thinker, imaginative, and also very deep. I think people talk about how you sacrifice things. And you're not afraid to sacrifice people, places, things in order to have a second chance at life. You know, they may see you as lucky, but it's like they're not seeing all the hard work and sacrifice that goes into it. You know, the work that you do every day to make it happen. The small things that you're doing. I think you've learned a lot of things the hard way. Some people may wonder how sacrifice is so easy for you. The thing is, sacrifice is never easy, ever. But you come off so unbothered by everything around you. Kind of a detached energy. You don't show the struggle. You make things look easy. And people are really blown away by that. You don't reveal very much about yourself. You're a very private person. But I think the longer people know you, people start to see you reveal a little bit by bit. A little bit more about yourself. But you're very hard to get to know. You do not let people in. You have very strong boundaries. But I think you genuinely do care for people. And they talk about that too. You could work in a service industry. You could also be very intuitive. And you see from a higher perspective. People could say that you have a duality about you. You have an innocent, light, playful, and peaceful side of you. And then you have this deep and emotional and calm, serious side of you as well. Strong. I think you have a very good balance of the feminine and masculine aspects of yourself. And people do talk about that. Okay, extra cards here. We have thinking of you. I think you do have a lot of people that think of you. You're a very interesting person, and how you move about in the world is very interesting. It's just like when people first meet you, and you seem like you shouldn't exist. Like people don't believe that you are who you are when they first meet you. And I think people think of you more than maybe they talk about you. I think you run rent-free in some people's heads. Community. I was thinking you might work in a service industry. You also might donate time to the community. You may be a part of a certain community. There could be a certain community that you are associated with where your frenemies have come from. Joy. Yeah, people do talk about how you are a very positive person. You have a good sense of fun and humor. And it's really, it's hard to get you down. And pray. They could be talking about how you're religious or spiritual in some way. They could know that you pray, or some people could pray for you as well. I'm also seeing Prey. So there are possibly some people that try to prey on you. It really bothers people when you do not get upset at them. You know, okay, here's what I'm getting. I think people get very upset when you do not recognize them. Or they feel like you don't recognize them. I think you do, actually. But when they feel like they're not getting your attention, they could start to act out. And when they still don't get your attention, then it could get pretty hostile pretty quickly. And could get really, really nasty. And this could play into a group dynamic as well. I'm also getting, and this could be very triggering, so skip forward if you need to. You could have been preyed upon for your innocent nature for a good portion of your life even. And I'm going to leave that there. I don't know if you've ever told anyone about that, if that's ever happened to you, but they might wonder about that or assume that. So, okay, that's it for these oracle cards. Let's get into your tarot, okay? We have Queen of Cups, Three of Cups, Five of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, Queen of Swords reversed, Page of Swords, Five of Wands, Six of Cups, Seven of Wands, and the Fool. People do talk about how caring you are. You're also very beautiful, and they talk about that as well. They talk about how you stand out from the group, and you may also put yourself on the outside of a group. You're a leader in some way. You set yourself apart. And you see how she's looking on while they're all dancing around over here? I think people talk about how you've been left out in the cold from a group. And like there's a lot of competition and fighting with the Five of Wands down here. So I think it's probably less that you got left out and more that you took yourself out of the equation. I'm also seeing that this could have gotten in the way of you and a King of Pentacles. I didn't mean for this to turn into a relationship reading, but evidently it is a little bit. That I'm just gonna follow the energy where it's taking me. Yeah, she's offering a cup, and there's all these people in the way, and he's not looking at it. He's looking over here, and there's a reverse Queen of Swords over here. Reverse Queen of Swords could be someone that's pretty cutthroat. The King of Pentacles was pretty defensive, though. And then there's a Page of Swords down here that the Queen of Cups isn't looking at. He even put on his special tights. Oh, poor guy. Okay, that's it that I'm getting for this side message. My goodness. Maybe more will come out, but... Alright, back to what people are saying about you. Yeah, they're saying that you're very caring in your relationships. They're also talking about your psychic abilities. Like you're learning something new. And also opening up emotionally. They could be talking about your communication as being very intuitive and that people learn from you. Some of you could be teachers or life coaches or could train people in some way. People talk how you are very good at explaining things. You are also very good at mediating conflict. People could also talk about how they feel you're playing games with them and that your words can be hurtful. People talk about how you would make a very good party host or hostess. Like you can be the center of the group when you want to be. And you stand out from the rest. People also talk about how you isolate yourself a lot. You're very private. You give off a very lone wolf vibe, which also makes you very attractive. People want to be part of your wolf pack. And there's also this mischievous, childlike side to you. This playful, joyful part. Yeah, there's definitely lone wolf or black sheep, underdog. And they want to like join with you. Like they feel a camaraderie with you because they feel the same way. People talk about your money. They wonder how much money you have. They also wonder how you're getting all of your money. They also talk about how you may be too expensive for them to have a chance with you. Yeah, they do talk about how you don't let things get you down. I mean, you persevere. You have a lot of courage. And you don't let the little things get you down. You don't let it affect your joy at all. You could be talking about how you're working on your financial stability. You could have your own business. They do talk about how you are very disciplined, especially when it comes to your wealth and your business. Like you don't play around. You have the courage to go after what you want and the perseverance to see it through. They could talk about how you don't suffer fools. Like if people want to have a chance with you, they really need to be real. They could talk about how you are pretty pessimistic with what people are offering you right now. Yeah, people talk about how they are keeping an eye on you. They like to watch you. I don't know if some of you have online platforms or something like that. People could talk about how they feel like they know you from somewhere. They talk about your past and how you've changed so much. You've changed a lot since they've known you. People could also talk about how there's a lot of competition around you or for you. People talk about how you are setting off in a new direction and having a new beginning for yourself, and how no one's going to stop you. People talk about how you left them out in the cold. It's kind of interesting. It goes from like blues to greens and then to dark, like bluey purple color. There's a definite shift. I think you went through a situation that changed you quite a bit. Yeah, you're leaving people behind. Situations behind. You're leaving it all behind. People are talking about this new beginning, and they're not going to be a part of it. They just get to sit and watch you. It's a wow group to you. There's a lot of jealous people around you. You keep being your bad self, okay? Alright, that's all I have for you. If you enjoyed this reading, please hit like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, Group 3. If you chose Death Ward, this will be your reading. In the description box, I've listed a Bible verse, angel number, and a song for you if you want to check it out. So let's see what people are saying about you behind your back. I'm actually going to look at this card and your Spare the Dying card here and see what I get. Get that you have a very strong cutoff game, but you're also very good about breaking down barriers. Like people that say that you can't do something, you go and you prove them wrong. They're like, no, you can't do that. And you're like, watch me. Yeah, people talk about how you break through boundaries. People could say that the boundaries they put up with you, you just break through them. People could also talk about how you just won't go away. Like you keep getting denied, but you just keep coming back. You just won't give up. You don't give up on things. Like if you want something, you'll get it. And that's just how it is. It's like they keep blocking you, but you just keep showing up. I think they talk about how you just won't let things go. You're a dog with a bone and you will not let it go. They also talk about how you slice through to the truth of a matter. You get right to the point. It's very quick. And you're just slashing away. Yeah, like you just won't, you won't stop. You just keep coming back. Just keep coming back for more. you just won't leave. I like you, group 3. Never give up. It could also talk about your sense of adventure, that you're very creative and like very unique. Like you'll put your corset on and ride your butterfly straight through Paris. You have a unique way of looking at things. People talk about how it would be very interesting to go on adventures with you. People also talk about your communication. Something about your communication or how you communicate stands out. Some people talk about how they want to protect you and how they want to kiss on you. Yeah, people talk about how abundant you are. I get that you are a very nurturing and stable person. You're very giving and also very beautiful. For some of my ladies, you could be very curvy. They talk about how strong you are and how balanced you are. And you just seem like a very happy person, like just kind of doing your own thing. But very persistent. You just have this quirky sense to you, like you just won't go away. The number 6 could be important. You could have your choice when it comes to romantic partnerships. I'm seeing a choice between 2. It could also be a choice in 2 versions of someone, one of which is not good for you. People could be talking about how someone is not good for you. It could also be talking about how you won't achieve something that you're working towards, which is pretty hateful and pretty dumb of them, considering how persistent you are and that you just keep coming back for more. So they can go pound sand. Some people are talking about how you have new opportunities opening up for you. They're also talking about your finances in some way. Okay, other cards, we have trust issues. People are talking about how you have trust issues. There may be very good reason for that. Passion. Get that, especially with the kiss here. I think there are people that are passionate towards you. We also have touch. I'm just going to go ahead and put these out and back. So yeah, people are talking about how they enjoy your physicality and how they would want to be intimate with you. I also believe that people are talking about how you go after the things you are passionate about and how there's no going back for you. I mean, you'll keep pushing forward. You'll keep breaking down those barriers. You'll keep coming back for more until you have it. All right, so that's what I have for oracle cards. Now we'll get into your tarot. All right, group 3, so for your tarot, we have the 5 of Cups, we have the High Priestess, the Empress, the Moon, the 10 of Swords, the Hanged Man, 3 of Pentacles, 8 of Swords, 8 of Wands, the Daughter of Pentacles, and the Daughter of Cups. So what are people saying about you? Well, with the High Priestess and the Empress, the two divine feminine cards in the deck, one right under the other, you're definitely in your yin energy, unlocking your feminine power. So not only your internal wisdom and your intuition, your spirituality, but also your external nurturing, growth, and love. People are talking about how you are standing in your feminine power. Now, they might not say it exactly like that. You're taking on role as teacher, as mother. You're very nurturing. They could say things like you're very wise or intuitive, like you just kind of know things or notice things. There's a lot of mystery surrounding you. Things like that. And you notice you also have the Moon card with the High Priestess. Those two cards scream psychic abilities, right? Intuition. There's a lot in your cards about coming out of darkness, and also the ability to see through the darkness, to see the light after dark. So people are talking about you going through a very dark time, something that was very difficult for you, and how you seem to be coming out of that. It seems that you found clarity about a situation you were in. And people don't really know how you found out about these things. They only know that you do seem to see things clearly. Like you found something out that you really had no way of finding out. And they're kind of confused about how you know the things that you know. They talk about how you maneuver through darkness, how you seem to be able to find your way out of it, how you find your way out of difficult situations. They talk about your unique perspective and how you can see all the different sides of a situation. The things that you went through did not stop your growth. They actually made you stronger. You were able to navigate through things unseen. I think people are also talking about how you are shedding light on things for them as well. You're providing clarity to situations that people find themselves in. Your ability to navigate and see all sides of a situation and to see all potentialities of a situation, all potential outcomes, helps others to navigate those situations for themselves. People are also talking about how you are on the move, like you're changing a lot and you move quickly. You're improving yourself in some way, and people are talking about that. This could be in your work. This could be in your approach. It could be in your attitude. It could be in your body. It's just something you're putting work into that is really showing. You're really improving. People are also talking about how you have a very sweet and creative nature and that you have a lot of good things coming to you. See how we go from all this darkness and then we got rainbows over here. You're moving towards a lot of creative opportunities and potential for yourself. People really see you working towards something good for yourself. And both of these cards, the pages, are very innocent and sweet cards. It's like when you are just starting out in something. People could be talking about your childlike quality and how you have maintained that through everything that you've been through. Because most people don't. I mean, it's amazing that you are able to hang on to that innocent, pure heart that you have. And that's where you really shine. Like, that is your gift. That is the part that people really love about you. I think people are also talking about how you're very good at protecting that part in you. And that's why your cutoff game is so good. Right? It's because you're protecting that sweet and innocent heart. The cards are kind of changing because it's like all these things are here to protect this in you. Like your ability to see through illusion, to navigate the dark, to see potential outcomes, your ability to connect the dots, the fact that you have been through so many things, and then you have the strength of your divine feminine energy, because you're like, don't get it twisted, I will stab a bitch, right? It's all there to protect your innocence, to protect your soul. You spend a lot of time alone, and you also take quick and decisive action when you need to, when you see the potential outcomes. And I think there are people that have come to this realization about you. I almost get like people, there are certain people or a certain person that's been studying your moves, trying to figure you out. I think there's someone that feels left out in the cold by you. Someone that wants to get to this innocent and sweet, pure heart of yours. But this is like Fort Knox. Like no one's gonna get through this without getting stabbed through the eyeball. And they know it. And they're talking about it. I think they are most likely talking about how guarded you are. They really want you to let your guard down with them. They want it to be easy. They just want it to be easy. They want it to get to the sweet fun part again. The thing is that they're lucky that it's only 8 cards here and not the rest of these. So I think you're going pretty easy on them, actually. Yes, group 3, someone is in their feels about you. So keep protecting that pure heart, stand in your powerful feminine energy, and don't ever give up. Keep showing up, all right? Keep breaking down those walls. All right, group 3, that's all I have for you. If you enjoyed this reading, please hit like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.